So I've discovered a lot of stuff through the process of opening up these walls, but to be honest, this right here scares me the most. There's some crazy comments on the last few videos like, tear it down, there's nothing left to be saved, gut the whole place. And well, I kind of agree with you. So let's take a quick survey of what walls I need to strip down entirely and what walls I might be able to keep. Plaster has to come off of this wall. Look, it's already done. This wall has to go to get rid of a chimney inside. These doors, gone. Plaster behind the closet, gone. The kitchen, demo it. There's nothing worth saving in here. This entire back wall of the house, get rid of it. The vestibule, gone. Just kidding, I think I might want to keep it. All this going up the stairs, let's get rid of it. We're gonna get rid of that plaster, that plaster, that plaster, this chimney. I've been reading the comments. People are saying, oh, the bathroom's so cute. Oh, you know, save that medicine cabinet, adds character, save the blue tile. It's all gotta go. It's all gotta be demoed. All the plumbing needs to be redone. This plaster's gotta go. This plaster's gotta go. All this plaster's gotta go. See this beautiful masonry wall? We gotta get rid of all of it. We're gonna tear it down. See this roof? Yeah, we're getting rid of it. Now let's look at what we can actually save in this house. Luckily, only a portion of the house was framed in wood, so there's actually a lot of stuff we can keep. Let's take a look. We're keeping the plaster on this brick. We're gonna keep this plaster too. How about the arch? Well, I might keep it, we'll see. You know, the powder room in the other video was like here. I might have a coat closet here or something now. We'll see. Either way, I might wanna like pay homage to the house and add this motif in somewhere else if I get rid of it here. We'll see, we'll see. This whole room can almost stay as it is. We got plaster on brick, plaster on brick, plaster on brick. It's fine, let's keep it. Up on the third floor too. This stuff is pretty fine. Plaster on brick. It's time for a little bit more exploratory demo. So basically from here to here is all a big beam that's carrying brick. I found some termite damage. How many termites got into my big beam? There were definitely termites that made their way up here, so I gotta check out the lumber in here. There's a big beam up here somewhere that I wanna look at. So let's start tearing this place apart, shall we? So you might remember last week I put this trash bag in the window. That's definitely dumping gallons of water into my walls. Who knows how long this has been leaking, but I kind of expected to find issues directly under that leak. Another observation you might have remembered from a previous video, there's a 1.5 story brick wall directly above a wood beam, and that wood beam has been getting drenched every time it rains, and the resulting situation is really quite scary. Eventually, a large portion of that brick wall that's above this sketchy beam is going to be removed for an addition. It's just this opportunity to really rework a lot of this stuff that is in really bad shape. So this is the face of the brick wall that is my east wall on the exterior. This brick kind of continues out that way. And this right here is an opening in the brick that extends basically the whole house all the way to the brick wall over there. And this face of the brick continues up, and there's basically right on top of here 1.5 stories of brick that's sitting on nothing. It's sitting on just a bunch of rot, and the beam is, I mean, the worst that I've seen, entirely gone. Very frightening. So I think with good reason I got scared of demoing up there, but I have bags to fill with trash, so I want to just get rid of some of this old drywall that they added in like the 70s probably, just to check out what's happening with this old wallpaper. It's interesting to uncover a little bit more of the story here, right? That this is where the wood section of the house starts, and this was the old wall. And this is where the stair used to turn, and it just, was like a winder. Came down this way and out that way. That's further confirmed by this. All these wood members are mortise and tenon, so the wood actually notches in together. And you can see where the joist used to come across and hit the wood here. So what do you think of this wallpaper? Do you think that's worth keeping? Do something fun with it. I think it could be cool. But I think a lot of that over there I want to be the exposed brick, which is actually in pretty decent shape over here. Let's talk design. Man, who knew radiator covers could make for such great desks? So we talked a little bit about the first floor design, but there's a lot of other stuff to be done on this house. If you're interested in more information, you can download the full PDF of all of these architectural plans to enjoy at your leisure on Patreon. So a little more background about myself. My name's Chris. I bought this house about a month ago and I'm doing all the architectural work. I graduated from Drexel University from a 6-year architecture program. I worked for 3 years professionally working in science and technology at a big firm doing like lab buildings. But I've also done a handful of these row home renovation style architectural plan sets. So to quickly walk you through, I have a zoning sheet here, some general information, my existing plans. This is demolition plans, new construction, reflected ceiling plans for my electrician to see the light locations, some sections, details. One of the decisions that I've been really debating is the idea of adding an addition. In this drawing, you can see the existing house. You can see that the neighbor's house actually extends past my house. So it kind of just makes sense to try to fill in this area and gain me some more square footage on the 3rd floor. Moving over to this drawing, you can see my vision for what this house could be with this added addition. It's a little under 200 square foot. And the nice thing is there's no real zoning requirements. It's by right because it's over the existing footprint of the house. I'm not increasing lot coverage or anything. On the proposed alterations sheet here, you can see this 3rd floor addition. Currently, the wall just ends there, and this is my existing 3rd floor. By doing this addition, I can fit a whole bathroom on the 3rd floor, kind of matching the layout of the 2nd floor. My intended use of the space is that this is my studio right when you walk up the stairs. I work from home, I like to create things. I have a lot of tools like 3D printers, I want to get a laser cutter, so I need a lot of space for that. Then the bedroom can be private in the back area. I really wanted to get another full bath in because I would love to live with a roommate for a little bit of my time in this house. To be able to, rent out the 2nd floor to a friend of mine would be ideal. Then whoever's on the 2nd floor can have a bedroom, a private bathroom, and potentially an office in the back. One of the big ideas with this renovation and this addition is to create a light well to really change the experience of the stairs. You can see here on the 3rd floor, I'm proposing this opening in the floor framing that will act as a light well. Coming over to the section drawings, you can see that same light well right here. And I want to loft the ceiling in the center section of the house and have skylights that'll bring light all the way down to the 1st floor. With some exposed brick up there and exposing some of the old rafters and using the historic floor, I think it could be such an incredible studio space. One of the ideas with this addition is it actually kind of resolves a lot of trouble areas in the house. For one, I uncovered that beam that's rotted through and needs to be replaced. And doing this addition means I need to tear down that whole brick wall, which I would love to just get that weight off of the top of my house and reframe it. Partially in wood. Also, there are all of these weird roof conditions from the top of the 3rd floor roof to the whole perimeter of the 2nd floor that eventually this is going to need to be re-roofed and it's going to need to be resolved. As well as this issue under the window on the 3rd floor. I could just patch the siding, but if I do this addition, that problem is resolved as well. So it's going to be expensive, but in some ways the costs are offset because I would have to redo this roof anyway. Let's talk numbers for a moment. I know everyone's curious about how much I paid for this house. So I bought the house for $230K, and this was actually $20,000 under asking price. I waived inspections to get a better deal, and the house was sitting on the market for nearly a year as the seller was cutting the price down and down and down. So this price point in Philadelphia, it was the cheapest thing I could find in a neighborhood that I would want to move to. Anything else would be $400,000 to $350,000 for a move-in ready place that's still just an old house, and I don't know that I trust flippers to do everything right. I would much rather see the bones of the place and know a house inside and out that I'm living in. Here we are in my living room. So work on the house has to be cut short this week because I have a quick side quest to do. I'm going to tell you about it. Maybe you've been wondering, what does this guy do for work? I left my job in 2020 to pursue an independent career in art and design. For the past 3 years, I've been working on a project called High Rises. Now that the book is published, I've been traveling around the country setting up exhibitions of the work featuring these large format prints. The first show was at the Architecture Center in Philadelphia, then it moved to the Chicago Architecture Center, and now I need to set it up in Detroit. This is going to be a complicated process, so I have this map behind me as visual reference. I'm here in Philadelphia. First, I need to build 8 temporary partitions that will be set up in the lobby of an Art Deco building in Detroit where I'm going to set up the show. One down, 7 more to go. Just like that, we got 8 partitions done. Now hopefully they fit in the SUV. We're gonna see. Once said partitions are built, I need to rent an SUV, pack it up, and drive all the way to Detroit, Michigan. Here I'll arrive at the Guardian building, which is an incredible Art Deco building, and my work is gonna be presented in the lobby all through September. Once I arrive, I need to assemble all the partitions, and then it's on to the next leg of my journey. That same day, I'm driving from Detroit over to Chicago, where my prints are at the Architecture Center ready to be picked up. I need to tear down all the prints that are up in Chicago, pack up the SUV, and drive them all the way back to Detroit, where I can finally assemble them. Luckily, I don't need to drive all the way back from Philly. I'm gonna return the car in Detroit, fly home, and it's gonna be a very, very busy weekend. After a whole lot of work, this exhibition is nearly set up here in the Guardian building. It's this absolutely beautiful space that used to be an old bank, and now it can host some artwork. Each print has a little info card that gives you the stats and information about the building. My partitions are just very minimal, and they do exactly what they need to do, which is just hold up these prints, so I'm happy with how they turned out. I didn't get to film a whole lot of the process setting this up because I'm on a time crunch. I got to fly back to Philly. But here's this model. In total, there are 16 of these big prints, and we're working on installing prints on these columns as well that'll be a little bit smaller. I'm going to give you a quick tour of this lobby area of the Guardian building. It's just so incredible. These designers and builders in the 1920s and 30s during this Art Deco movement really just went all out. Look at the crazy colors in the tile work at the elevator lobby. Super cool.